In our last 4 sessions, we discussed a letter from Natalie, who was concerned about visiting her friend who was dying of cancer. I suggested that the visit would be difficult as long as Natalie was consumed with her own issues. We've been talking about some of the unproductive things people do and say around people who are dying, and I told Natalie that all her friend needed was love. Now, back to Natalie. So we've talked about what not to say and do with your friend, and that she needs you to love her. But what exactly does that look like? What does your friend need you to do and say? Relax. Really, that's the first thing. If you're tense about this visit, that means you're afraid, and she'll feel responsible to put you at ease. She doesn't need that. So, lighten up. Remember that you're there for her. Talk to her about her. Ask her how she's doing. Ask her how she's feeling. How she's really feeling. Most people are afraid to do that when somebody's dying. You might say, how are you feeling about being sick? About the possibility that you might die? You didn't mention whether she has a husband or children, but if she does, let her talk about what it feels like to leave them behind. You can't fix any of those things, but you can sure let her talk about them. Then, as she talks about how she feels, just accept her. When she tells you how afraid she is, because she almost certainly is, you said she's becoming depressed, don't tell her not to be afraid. We've been hearing that kind of foolishness all our lives. When we were children and cried, we heard, don't cry, or don't be sad. She gets to be sad, or angry, or whatever. Tell her you understand why she would be sad, or angry, or alone. She wants to feel accepted while she feels like she does. And you can give her that. She might, for example, say that she doubts the existence of God. How could God allow this to happen to her? You did say that she's not religious, so that wouldn't be a big surprise. That doesn't mean you have to tell her that you doubt the existence of God too, if you are religious. You don't have to agree with everything she says, but you can understand and accept her for what she says. You could say, for example, I can sure see why you'd be angry at God. Sometimes like this can make it look like God doesn't exist. She wants to be heard, and at that point she may take the discussion in a direction where she'll ask you questions where she seeks your guidance. You never know. You said she's been asking questions about what happens to her after she dies. Ask her what she wants to do about that. Does she want to talk about it? Does she want to talk to a minister, a theologian? Does she want to talk to them with you? What does she want? But do not force your opinion about God or anything else on her. People do not benefit from being forced to learn anything. Again, just understand her. Be with her. Accept her wherever she is. She is going through an experience that people really cannot understand until they're there. And how many people go through this experience and then stick around? They go through it and then they're gone. So these people don't exactly have groups they can attend where everybody shares their similar experiences. They're fairly alone. Listen to her about whatever. Talk to her about past relationships that she wishes were different. Just think about her and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out that it's always about real love.